The Hanjo. How you doing, everybody? Matt the Greeter. We got a guy that likes to throw trash out the window in front of us. I wish I had my camera on originally, you know? He just threw a big Tupperware container out right in front of me. So, hey, thanks. I wasn't close to him. And it's not like I was tailgating and it was a little passive-aggressive, you know, grenade. But still, what are you doing? You know, throwing stuff out. I mean, what are you doing? You know? Are we still littering? Is that something we're still doing? I don't know, man. This place would be great if it wasn't for the people sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Of course, people built the motorcycle that I'm able to ride. So, you know, they're not all bad. Anyway, probably not the worst thing that's ever been thrown in front of me, you know, whilst on the bike. I've had cigarette butts come out that have bounced up and landed in my lap. That was a joy, let me tell you. I want to get a look at the guy, but I want to get through the light too. You know what I mean? You got to pick your battles. You get a rare opportunity to get through, and so I guess I have to sacrifice my grumpy nature to hit a very rare green light at that intersection. So this one will probably turn red, but yeah, wait and see. Anyway, yeah. So I just had Tupperware thrown out the window. I don't think it was thrown out at me, to be quite honest. I think it was a throw out and then like, oops, you know, and then there was some random gesticulating, which could have been, you know, single finger, could have been, you know, it could have been like, oops, I'm sorry kind of thing. And but I didn't care for it. But yeah, it was better than the lit cigarette that bounced up into my lap. I wanted to do unspeakable things to that person. If you're gonna smoke, that's fine, but you gotta take care of your cigarette. You gotta throw it out the window. Why are you gonna throw it out the window? You're gonna throw a lit cigarette out the window of your vehicle. Why are you gonna do that? You got a little butt bucket and you put it out in your car, and then when you get home and it's cold, then you dump it like a human, right? Like a person that thinks about other people. So I didn't like that, and I wished ill will. And it doesn't have to go out the window just because anyway. What else have I gotta say, I was in a vehicle that threw something worse than a cigarette butt out in front of a bike. And this was an unintentional, I have to say, but I forgive me if I've told this story. Actually, if I've told this story and you've heard it, you've probably been with me a while, because I don't recall telling it in the last bunch of years. But anyway, I did some odd jobs for a guy, and we were cleaning something out, and there was a lot to clean out. And so he had this pickup truck, a little pickup truck, and I was a kid. I don't know, 14 maybe. And but this is pre-mono. I had not had mono. My shoulders worked great, my knees both worked great, so life was good. I could work beyond my means or whatever. My body was still cashing the checks, I guess is what I'm saying. And anyhow, we were like loading up his pickup truck with a mountain, just an absolute mountain of stuff, one of which was a refrigerator. And so the refrigerator went on last. You see where I'm going with this? And so the guy I was doing odd jobs for, who put the refrigerator as the very last thing in his pickup truck, also failed to latch the tailgate shut. Now we're talking back in the 80s, so you had to you had to make sure it was shut. Everything wasn't all like cutesy, does it for you kind of nonsense, right? You had to slam it shut, make sure it was shut. Well, we were on a skinny bridge. If it was any skinnier, it would have been 1 lane, but it was still 2 lanes. And the refrigerator fell off the back of the pickup truck right in front of a guy on a sport bike who made a Cirque du Soleil kind of move and managed to squeeze between the refrigerator and the edge of the bridge, the precipice. He managed to, if he had been on a Harley, he would have knocked a handlebar off or something, you know, maybe busted his leg up. But he was nice and tight on a sport bike, and he just got between the refrigerator and also the pickup truck, which the driver's, you know, having slammed on his brakes, not noticing a motorcyclist. Now, the biker was following pretty close, and he was also following dead center to the lift gate, which doesn't give you a whole lot of options, right? Especially if it's like Mario Kart chucking refrigerators at you, right? So where should he have been? Should he have been tucked over here where he really didn't have an escape route, or should he have been just shaded a little to the left where maybe the driver could have seen him in his mirror and emergency case scenario could have scooted around on the left, hoping there wasn't any oncoming traffic, right? But in my recollection, and I loved bikes, this is before I rode, and in my recollection he was sort of dead center or shaded a little to the right, you know. But anyway, it was a miraculous. So that was probably like his worst / best moment as a biker, because worst moment because he had a refrigerator hummed in his general direction, actually in his specific direction to be clear. So that's bad. But the great part of the story was that he avoided the whole thing and did not fling himself off the bridge, you know, or anything to that. Oh yeah, so this bubbling brook is open now, so you got to be careful around this corner. You get 7 bazillion people who've never seen ice cream before. Although I gotta say, I think I had bubbling brook ice cream once. It's probably very good. You know, they say, yeah, you get a whole carton for what you can pay for a cone, but I don't know, something, yeah, it's, if you like being around humans, yeah, people like to get ice cream out. So anyhow, I'm happy to throw on a little Rick Beato video or a Matt Laidlaw video or Kraken's Garage, Bugsy's, whatever. So I'm happy to throw one of those on with my own personal ice cream and have a, you know, maybe some handicap hot fries to go with it, maybe, you know. But if you like people and whatever. What's up, pal? He's waiting for somebody. He's waiting. The biker code is you stop, but he's waiting for somebody. Aren't we all? Am I waiting? I'm not waiting for anybody. I'm waiting for everybody to leave. Speaking of which, what am I still doing here? Guys, Matt the Greeter, I care about you. I don't remember if there's a point to this video. Don't throw refrigerators at people on bikes, please. Now, if you're on a bike and you throw a refrigerator off your bike at another person, that's pretty impressive. And I'm all for that. He waved at me. He didn't wave me on, waved at me. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Oh man, someone just hummed an elderly woman at me. What's going on here? I gotta get home. Tomorrow's Easter. People are out of their minds. I'm just trying to decompress. Matt the Greeter, do you like this car? Leave it in the comments. Bye.